Hi, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to show you how to build this cute little flower shop. I've built this using catwalks. Flamer trap is optional and also will soon be redundant anyway, probably by the time this video is out. But there are workarounds. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So this is Tadali. I mentioned her previously in another video. Tadali is the most beautiful cat in ESO, mother of Raji in Southern Elsewhere, for those that know, and a high priestess of Kanathi. So, what inspired this? Well, these really, I guess. If you have not been playing Fashionat, there are new plans out for these Windows boxes. There are two different styles, and thanks to Mystic I now have all of them, so thank you for that. So if you don't know where I am, I will show you on the map. We are down by Charleston Station. Vault 76 is up here. I have built here before. I built my pub here, and it's a nice spot. It's very, very useful because obviously the vendor is over there. Just dealt with some liberators, of course. Because of the camp location and the size of the build area, you do actually have access to the water if you want to put a water filter in here. So, yeah, all in all, pretty useful. So we have the main shop. There is an apartment above, and I also, because I had the budget, I'm still actually haven't used all my budget. I built this little garden here. This is also a quick stop camp. I have a bed. If you haven't seen this, gives you well rested. I have a ukulele. I have a cooker here as well. So if I'm in a rush to do any of those things, I don't need to go into the house. I have various plants out here. I have some daffodils which are merged on a rug. This is the new vendor. I did power it up, but it gives off very, very little light, so I have actually merged a uplighter in so that it does actually light up properly. So this is also sort of a coffee shop. I had quite a lot of resources around plants, so because that sort of seemed relevant for the build. Have various bits and bobs on these benches so that you can see them when you look through the window. Obviously the coffee cups and these vases were merged in using chessboards. I missed one. I have a bucket and some moonshine jug underneath the sink. Flower pot merged in on a chessboard, and this sort of a potting bench, I guess. This I was really pleased with. It is a clean enamel bucket merged on a chessboard into the foundation, and then these are just If you merge it down low enough so that the bottom of the bucket is just into the foundation, you can merge real kind of in-game items into them, because it doesn't count the bucket as being really there, if that makes sense. It's kind of invisible to the game. So I have a bucket of flowers for preparation, I guess. We have the seating area. I haven't used every plant. I've used a lot of them. This I am not 100% sure about. I was trying to make an indoor fountain. Now, I did originally use the junkyard fountain. The problem I'm having is I can't get these rocks close enough to it. And with the junkyard fountain, I couldn't get anything within about the equivalent of about 2 feet of the front. It was just bizarre. I don't know why. Flamer trapping it, destroying it made no difference. So I'm not 100% sure about that. But maybe I'll figure out another way of doing it. This was recently in the Atom store. It is a curio cabinet that is a resource. It gives asbestos, ceramic and adhesive, which is useful. So that is the shop. Obviously I have another vendor here as well as the one outside. Around the back I have a simple workshop area. I have enough build budget that I could probably build a workshop, separate building, if I wanted. It's up to you, really. Obviously I have these stairs that come down here. I have a shelter. I have actually filled... This was actually a pain because of the railings. I used catwalks to attach these walls because when I got this build set, I also got wallpaper that matched. So you can have the inside look the same as the outside. But then I couldn't get the railings on. And also, this one was a bit of a pain. I could not get a full wall on there. I'll try it again when we build it, because my foundations might be in a slightly, well, probably will be, in a slightly different place. So that really bugs me. Upstairs, this is where I used catwalks. You can use upper floors. You could just put an upper floor in there. I have Tadali. I had originally intended to have a human companion. I was going to use Junko or Catherine, but I couldn't sort of fit their desk and chair into downstairs, and I have found that if you put them upstairs, they will not cross this catwalk. So it was a bit of a pain because I wanted them downstairs. So we have a tiny little apartment. I love this bed. I use this bed a lot. Mainly because it looks clean and it is appropriate to a lot of the decor styles that I do. I have put a pillow on it, but I really wish we had some kind of blankets, or... We have no kind of soft furnishings. We have no towels. We have no bedding. We have no cushions or anything like that. And I do find... I mean, it took us 4 years to get a kitchen, so I'm not holding my breath. This is a bit scrappy looking, but I really love this. I like yellow. It's such a cheerful colour. And obviously it's spring, or nearly almost spring. The spring equinox is the 21st of March, so yeah, beginning of spring. So I have a tiny little kitchen. I do have another cooker, just for clean kettle. I'm trying to find another one of these. It's random whether it's clean or dirty, and there aren't very many on the map to start with. I have the world's smallest bathroom. I will show you how to build this. If your foundations are really low, you will probably need catwalks. So, can I fit down here? I can. Originally I had the this at the end, and then I couldn't get past the toilet, so I changed it around. So this is the world's tiniest bathroom. Now, the reason this is double walled is because, oh, and by the way, the only way to shut the door is from out here. If you do not double wall this, the door does not look central. So yeah, so you have to double wall it, which makes things even more complicated. But I used the purple wallpaper because I thought it went with the kind of greeny teal of the roofs, because the inside of the roof. So I quite like that. You could go for, I have a green wallpaper that's very similar colour to this, or it goes quite well with it, but I wanted to go quite feminine. I've done a couple of fairly masculine camps, and my next one, which is going to be an enclave build, is also quite masculine, so I wanted to do something quite feminine, and with all the flowers and the new vendor, it felt appropriate to do this. So anyway, I will show you how I built it. So we're going to start with some foundations. The main house and walkway surround is a total of 4x4. And I'm going to start around here. This will be the walk around. Just making sure that these foundations fit. See, they need to come up slightly. I want them low, but obviously there are issues. Probably actually pick this one to raise because it will raise more cleanly. Let's try using the... If I raise this one, oh, it's okay actually. Sometimes if it's partially submerged, it will move, it will change the position. Even though I did not use a lined pattern on this build, I am using a lined pattern to start with, so that if I change my mind in the future and I want to use a directional pattern, I know that all the foundations are in the right place. I used the Saltillo tile for the shop. So, I'm not going to lie, I've had a few issues with this build, and it's required some rethinking, because I wanted to be able to do some of these things without catwalks, and I think I can. Yeah, I have stuff sticking through. If you have this issue, confetti. I'm not going to bother. We need to get a door upstairs for the bathroom. And the way to do that is to move this foundation a quarter in this direction. So we're going to place a staircase here. We are going to add an upper floor, a half upper floor, then a full one, and I like to use a different pattern. And what this gives you is the ability to offset by a quarter, a half, or 3/4. Now we're going for the quarter position. Now we will need to move this foundation up so it's there, and then we can move, we can't. Now this isn't the quarter position, we take the pillar off, move this one up. This is now a quarter offset. So we are going to add a barn wall here. Doesn't matter which way around the wall is because the door will go in either direction. Add a wall upstairs. You see this door line meets this edge here, almost. So this is the position you want. We haven't moved these foundations. So I'm going to add the circus trailer door. It won't go on. Try adding a roof, a flat roof. Like so. Then we are going to convert this doorway into a plain wall and remove it. We can remove the roofs and this wall underneath. We can now move these foundations back. I'm going to add the walls for the bathroom upstairs. Now, you don't have to do any of this. It's just, I hate showing things in my builds. If I can build it, I can show you how to build it. This is not mandatory. You can just do the rest of the build and completely leave this off if you want. Going to use, I actually did this by moving foundations and building up, but it's just as easy, or easier even, to use upper floors. If you do not have catwalks, you are going to want to do this to get your upper floors on anyway. Now, we want a wall halfway between those, in the middle of that foundation, or upper floor. So we are going to add 2 half floors. If you're using catwalks, you don't have to. If you want the catwalk staircase, you can take these all off afterwards, it's fine. Now, the other thing, if you're building inside of things, is that you have to place the outer wall and a roof first, because once you've got this on, you will not be able to add these afterwards. So I'm using a barn and this green roof because they are the most forgiving sets in my experience. So halfway along there, we are going to add a half wall, barn again, and to fit in that gap, because we're double walling, this is the reason we're double walling. Actually, it's not a huge gap. When I did it the other day, the gap looked much bigger. I don't know. We might actually get away with not double walling it. It's completely up to you. I mean, from a wallpaper perspective, it will look odd if you don't. So we will double wall. Brick top wall arch. If you're using top wall arches and double walling them, you must use the brick set. Grab a stash box. Have now found out that the update coming with the being able to destroy your own items is the 18th. So yeah, flame a trap. Flame a trap for another week or so. Wrong generator, but it doesn't matter. I bought that this week. Right, we will now double wall. For the second top wall arch, it doesn't have to be brick, it can be anything. I tend to default to the barn. Although if it ends up showing through the roof, I might, I'll probably change it up at the end. Now we need to get these floors off. If you're using these floors, this steps, you don't have to do this step. If you're not, if you're using roofs, we need to remove these floors and this staircase. So we have to destroy these two walls and this wall here. Otherwise, your upper floors won't come off. Won't go under the roof, so put it out here, move it back in. Being weird. Destroy that half wall as well. Now we should be able to take these off and remove the staircase. For the downstairs walls, I am using the red shingle wall. These are all plain walls, although we are going to have a doorway in the middle. I used the conservatory set for the conservatory and for the shop window. You can put open windows in if you like. To finish the upstairs, we are going to put half walls all the way around here. We are going to put another roof on. Going to use the red shingle roof. And the reason I'm putting the roofs on is so I can add slants. Now, when you're adding slants, be aware if you had a wall above here, they will not go in. They snap to the roof. And they like to snap from the inside. I sometimes find it difficult to get them on from this direction. We nearly had it snapping, but it doesn't. It's not as easy as if you just come over the side, like so. We can add the window upstairs here. I really like the windows on this set, but I really hate the broken glass. As someone who ran through a glass door when they were a child, the first thing you'd do if you moved into a property with windows like this is knock all that glass out, because it's so incredibly dangerous. So this is someone who, I guess, who designed this. It's form over function. I mean, every panel is partially broken in a different way. It's just bizarre. So I'm just going to ignore it. I mean, look, these are all glass and they're not broken. Why? Anyway, right. We can add some roofs. And we can add the roofs for the conservatory. This is the rustic greenhouse set. If you don't know, I've started listing all the build sets and wallpapers down below the video, along with I have timestamps down there, so they're above the timestamps. I'm going to use this slightly curved one, and I'm going to use two corners facing this way. Now we can't put slants in here because there would be a big gap. So, going to just add a couple of barn walls, like so. And then add some plain walls here, like so. And a couple of top wall arches. Now, as the roofs are on, you should be able to remove these. If the roofs aren't on, then just turn these into doorways. The walls at the bottom will come off. Because of the way that the floor is going to go under here, if you had a slant, these bits would be basically, there'd be a hole. So there are complicated ways of putting a slant in, but you still need top wall arches here. You'd need to build walls up to get top wall arches here, because the slants will not, they won't go on top of slants. So to be honest, this is just the easiest solution. Next, we need to add the staircase here using catwalks. Now, obviously, if you don't have catwalks, you will already have upper floors on there because you will have put them on earlier. Hopefully. So I'm going to start with a quarter. It doesn't have to be a quarter, but you just need something to pin the rest to. A curve, corner piece, and a quarter again. We need to temporarily remove these two foundations and attach a staircase to this catwalk. I just used the base game one, in-game base one, this one. It's called stairs. And then we can put our foundations back underneath. The staircase won't go in if the foundations are there, but you can put the foundations back afterwards. Now, we need to remove this catwalk, and in doing so it will remove all the other catwalks. But now we have the staircase in the correct place, we can snap the catwalks to that. Next, we need to add the doorway. Do sometimes find this won't go in under the roof, but it's behaving today. Then we need to put the catwalks back in. This doorway can be a problem. If you can't get them on, just convert this one to a barn doorway. Quarter, curve. Convert this back to the red shingle set. We also need the upper floors. I used this is if you're doing it this way. I used the RIP roof because I think it looks like wood. Can be a bit of a pain to line these up, but it's fine. There we go. I'm now going to go to my camp widget and repair all. And hopefully everything worked upstairs. We have a... Oh, I missed the top wall arches off there. That all looks fine. We have our wall. It is double walled. The door actually opens in the opposite direction. I hadn't noticed. I thought it was the other way. That's actually probably easier to open and close. It's up to you. I think you should still get the bed in. So it worked. Going to add top wall arches on the sides here. I'm going to convert this to the red shingle. I did actually put a window in the bathroom. It's completely up to you if you want to or not. And I'm going to swap out these top wall arches possibly to the wood. You could convert these to wood so the edges match as well if you want. It's just so that they don't show through the roof, or they're not as obvious as the white ones. That's weird. We've got sort of a bit showing through. So play around with whichever you want. Wallpaper, I used the white. I used a combination. I sort of used the white for the bathroom and the kitchen. If you don't have this modern home wallpaper, it was an Amazon giveaway. You could use the cream. And I used Eyrie roses for the rest of the build up here. Downstairs I used the Whitespring Presidential Suite wallpaper. Obviously not on the glass walls. So that is pretty much that part done. I'm going to swap out these. I used the haunted tile for the outside areas. I placed a slope here and foundation next to it. Remove that, add a foundation, and you can attach steps here and here. So finishing up outside, I did put walls along here. Now you do really need catwalks to do this. You could put half walls if you carried this foundation around, but you wouldn't be able to cover these parts because we can no longer snap downwards. We haven't been able to for a while. Thank you, Bethesda. Don't see why that was game breaking. Maybe they will put it back in at some point, who knows. So I usually use a quarter, take a quarter catwalk. You want to be using the barn wall for this and snap a barn wall underneath like so. Or try. I think I'm going to have the same problem I had before with getting the full walls on some of these. This one does not seem to want to go in. It's annoying that it will go in there, but it won't go in on. I will try for a bit longer. I will probably edit it out. If you can't get a full wall in, which apparently I failed, you'll have to put a half in, which will leave gaps. It's so annoying. It really does annoy me. I mean, you can go under the map if you want. I don't tend to do that. It seems overly complicated to me. Now, the other thing is you will find that if you want to snap these on, they will not go. I mean, I didn't actually try seeing if they'll snap to each other. No, they will not go over the walls. So you will have to destroy the walls. Before you do, put the wallpaper on, because you will not be able to select them, or it'll be much more difficult to select them once the railings are on. If you don't have the railings, you don't have to worry about this. So grab the red shingle wallpaper, place that, and then just destroy these walls. You should then be able to... Actually, it's not going on. Why are you not going there? This one is not working, and it is because it is a full barn wall. The barn walls have a bar at the top, so change it to a brick wall. I can't remember if it's the wall or the doorway. I always misremember this. Right, this one is proving to be quite stubborn, but I have found a quick workaround. Add a half, like so. You can just leave it there, but if you want that bit at the bottom filled in, what you can do is add a full one. Add a full wall underneath like that. Another full one. Now obviously it's going to depend on the height of your foundations. You can add another half underneath. Like so. Now we just need to destroy the top one. Don't remember doing this, but I couldn't get anything else to work today. Maybe I did something similar. Right. Add your railing. I'm wondering now if we could have got one underneath using the same technique, but I don't think the I'll try it. Come on, you went in. No, this wall will still, even though that catwalk is under there, it will still not go in underneath. Ah! Mean thing. I did continue the railings around here. I put steps here. I did put steps here, but I can't actually get them on the end today, so I'm just going to put them there. It may be that when I built this it was slightly further to the right. The trouble is, when you build something like this, you cannot build an exact replica, because even the minutest difference in spacing or, of placing of foundations can throw up different problems. Obviously, I built a garden here. That's pretty self-explanatory. So we are at the end, apart from, and I almost always forget, doors. I used the Helvetia window door on both the apartment and the... if If you can't get the door in here, try different options. The Nuka-Cola vending machine will go in there. And you can swap it out to this. Some of the shower curtain doors will go in. It's the catwalk. But it's sort of a catch-22. If you put another roof over here to get the door in, then you have to flame trap the door afterwards. Sometimes the catwalks won't go. It's just easier to do it that way. If you don't have that door, then there are a few other options that I played around with. You could use this Helvetia door, you could use this or this, whatever you want. So, I really like the build. I kind of kick myself. I build things and then I think, when I've finished building, and sometimes even when I'm halfway through decorating, I think, what would happen if? And that's kind of what happened with this, really, with the bathroom. I don't know, to be honest. I wouldn't say I hate, but I don't like building camps without bathrooms, even though we can't use them. It did give an extra source of water to the camp, although I had a kitchen sink, so yeah, and there's water out the back. I don't know. Sort of the completionist in me likes to add bathrooms, so yeah, up to you. Do not feel that you have to try it. Even if you don't have catwalks, I have shown you a way to do it without catwalks, so you've got no excuse, but don't feel that you have to. Just do it if you want to. So on the 18th, we have the new update. We will be able to break our own camp items using weapons. So it will make a lot of the routine breakages like walls. It's probably not going to make it significantly quicker for me because I tend to like to stay in build camera mode, and I will have to come out of build mode to do it. But when you're doing things where you want to destroy items on the floor, if you have stubborn weeds, I had this problem once. I had a really stubborn weed. The only thing that would make it go away was a sleeping bag, and then I had to sort of merge a flamer trap into a mat, into a rug. All of that, we don't need to do that anymore. We will just be able to destroy any item in our camp. So I am looking forward to that. And also with that update, we are getting a new event where you have to pick flowers. So I'm actually hoping, I don't know, I didn't try that on the PTS. The couple of times I got on, the event was not on. But I'm hoping that we might get some more flowery kind of plans. So I might be able to add to the build. Anyway, I hope you like it. I hope you have fun with it. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.